Most nonprofit marketing campaigns are scattered and fail to actually affect change. They feel like somebody strung together a bunch of random thoughts and sentences, hoping that it would all make sense to the audience. But when the outcome of your campaign is mission critical, you can't trust chance. Today, I'm going to teach you how to create a marketing campaign strategy to set your campaign goals, streamline your marketing, and reclaim control of your time. We're going to start by reviewing what a campaign is and why it's important. Then we're going to dive into actually creating that marketing campaign plan. So you're going to use the workbook to help you set your campaign goals and strategy. And by the end of this short training, not only will you have a marketing strategy for your next campaign, you're also going to have a time-saving tool to go back to again and again, because you can use this framework and this strategy to kick off every single marketing campaign that you're doing with confidence and ease. Before we dive in, let's clarify the difference between a social media post and a campaign. So many folks don't realize that there actually is a difference. So with a post, you can only address one very specific detail of your offer or appeal because you have a limited amount of space in your captions. You can't appeal to every person in one post, but we know that there are multiple types of decision makers: emotional and rational, slow and fast. So your audience might miss what you're putting out there because only 10% of your followers are actually seeing individual posts. So that's where planning your campaign in advance comes in really handy, because with a marketing campaign, you actually have several pieces of content that appeal to each person, those slow thinkers, those fast thinkers. And with that, it's important to make sure that we clarify our messages to ensure that our audience is resonating with it. So you're recycling content, right? This allows each person to make a decision in their own time on whether or not they should volunteer or donate or follow through. So when you strategically plan a series of posts and emails, you've actually mapped out a campaign. And by planning these campaigns at once, you can optimize and repeat them quarterly, annually, or as needed. So let's dive into the 3 different types of campaigns. There are 3 main types of nonprofit marketing campaigns: awareness, acquisition, and retention. Let's dive into awareness campaigns. Awareness campaigns are all about getting your name out there and making sure that people know who you are and what you stand for. So these campaigns are important because they introduce potential supporters to your cause and plant that seed for future relationships. Next up is acquisition campaigns, and acquisition campaigns are focused on converting potential supporters into actual donors or volunteers or advocates. Essentially, these campaigns are aiming to turn someone from just being interested in your cause to actually being involved in your cause. Next up is retention campaigns, and retention campaigns keep your current supporters engaged and invested in your work. So these campaigns show your existing donors the impact that their support is having and inspires them to continue their involvement. So as you can see, each type of campaign serves a very unique purpose, but they're all ultimately working towards the same goal, which is growing the relationship with your audience to ultimately further the mission of your organization. So when you're planning the next campaign, it's important to think about which one of these will meet your objectives. So within those 3 main campaign objectives that we just talked about, there are multiple types of nonprofit marketing campaigns that each serve their own unique purpose and are tied to that goal. So here's a few examples. It could be an event, a gala, Giving Tuesday, your end of year campaign, an email welcome sequence, an acquisition campaign, volunteer recruitment, advocacy campaigns, and the list goes on and on. So when we're talking about your campaign, what is your specific goal? This may seem a little bit redundant, but it really is important to state what specifically you're trying to accomplish in your campaign. So here are some examples. We want to promote a fundraising campaign. Maybe we want to increase brand awareness by 50%. Maybe we want to raise $25,000. Maybe we want to gather community feedback. The next question to ask yourself is, what is the topic of this campaign? So once you've identified your campaign purpose, now it's time to narrow it down even further and select the specific topic of this campaign. It's important to only focus on one topic per campaign because adding too many can actually confuse and lose our audience. So here's some examples. Could be St. Cloud's virtual gala, the Miami Beach cleanup, or Little Rock's Giving Tuesday fundraiser. The next section in your campaign is, what is your call to action? So the call to action is a 1 or 2 sentence summary of your campaign. Think of it like the elevator pitch for your first campaign, that first paragraph of a press release. With your one-liner, it's important to prioritize clarity over cleverness because you can leave those puns, those innuendos, those insider language out on the wayside because we want this campaign to be as clear as possible. So here are some examples. Register for the St. Cloud's virtual gala on October 13th and join in the fight to protect historic landmarks from developers. Donate on Giving Tuesday and support the future of Little Rock. The next question to ask yourself is, who are you trying to reach with this campaign? Because if you want people to take action with your organization, you first have to understand who you're wanting to take action. And as idealistic as it sounds, everyone is not the right answer. Of course, as nonprofit leaders, we would love it if everyone hopped on board to champion our cause, but the chances of that actually happening are slim to none. Because of this, your marketing message will vary depending on your audience and your campaign goals, and that's why knowing exactly who you're talking to is important for every single campaign. So start by making a list of common traits between your current donors. If you don't have donors or you're trying to expand or pivot your audience, then create an ideal customer or ideal donor in your head and list those traits. So think about job titles, age, income level, gender if it's appropriate, goals, etc. The next question is, what channels do you want to run your campaign on? There's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, email, website. So which one will you use? The choice is completely dependent on your organization's budget, goals, and among other factors. So thinking about which one of these performs best, which one of these allows you to pay for advertisements, which one of these have the best engagement, and that can help you start narrowing this question down. All right, congratulations, you have completed your first training. You know your desired outcomes. You have clarity on the topic and your messaging direction, and you know who you're trying to reach. You've determined the channels that you're going to run your campaign on, and by following these steps, you have laid the foundation for a very successful marketing campaign. With thoughtful planning, you can develop a powerful strategy with clear objectives that will help you drive results. So if you're finding that you want more support in this area, well, guess what? That's exactly what we do. The Maximize Marketing Intensive is an experience where in just 1 week, we create your valuable Nonprofit Marketing Toolkit, which is the powerful assets that you need to streamline your marketing and free you to increase your impact and funding without losing your mind. So if you feel like this would be beneficial for you, I've put my calendar below. Feel free to hop on and we can chat more about it. All right, talk to you soon. I'll see you in the next lesson.